everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mr. Rogers LT, or you could just simply call me Luke. Today we are going to be starting a brand new series on the channel, and that is going to be all about tricks and tips in Call of Duty. This episode and most of the episodes right now are going to be specifically focusing on Warzone and Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer, as that is the game that is out right now. However, as soon as Call of Duty 2020, whatever that may be, likely Black Ops Reboot, comes out, we will be doing them on that as well. But today I wanted to talk about some of the best sniping spots in Warzone. Now, these are places that both myself, not that great of a sniper, and JScry99, my buddy, who is an excellent sniper, both of us enjoy these locations. So, regardless of your skill as a sniper, these are places that are going to be fun for you in order to snipe. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first place we're going to look at here is Stadium. You can see it right here on the map. I will pull up my mini-map. You can see it's right there. And basically, this is one of the best sniping spots in Warzone, if not the best sniping spot in Warzone, for the mere fact that as of right now, there is no way up here other than skydiving or a helicopter. So what's really cool about this is, as you can see, look at this. Look at how high up you are. Look at all of the different areas that you can see. You can see on top of all of these buildings downtown, right there. You can even see that one right there, and this one. Now, the biggest downside to this location is that you can be sniped at pretty easily from any one of these buildings right here. All of downtown is very, very easy to be sniped from. So, if you come up here, one of the huge tricks that I use when coming up to this stadium is to park your helicopter on this side over here, closer to right here. The reason why, if you bring a helicopter up there, is this is going to be significantly harder for them to lock on any sort of javelin, rockets, any sort of thing like that. Park it right about in this area right here, and you're going to, it's going to be much harder for those people to get those kind of missiles onto them. On top of that, if they have some sort of precision airstrike or cluster strike, the people from downtown are going to have a much harder time hitting your helicopter over on this side than they would on this side. So, just a word to the wise, if you bring a helicopter up here, if you don't come here off spawn, which you won't unless you're playing a game like Plunder, like I am right now, park the helicopter on this side. Now, the other spot that you will normally take snipes from when you're up here is this hill right here. This hill, however, you can get good snipes at. They don't have a ton of cover compared to the people back on the other side. So, just a little bit of a few other tips about landing on top of Stadium. You can get out on these. You can walk out on them. You are extremely exposed. However, if you're fairly confident on your ability and how good people are below you, see, look at this right there. So you can actually switch to a sniper. Did not mean to throw C4 there. And you can down them. One last note about the stadium is, if you stand here in the middle, your chances of getting a loadout drop when the time comes to land, for them to land, it's pretty good for them to land up here. So that is a really, really cool feature as well, that you can get your loadout drops up here, uncontested, and it's very, very awesome. Alright everyone, so the second best spot to take snipes from in Warzone is definitely the top of this building right here.
Cancel my last. Going this way.
In downtown. It is the highest point in the entire game, and you get excellent sight of just absolutely so much area with very little, very, very little ability for people to snipe back at you. So you can actually see, look at this. You can get so much good area and just coverage, even of Stadium, but as you can see, with people on the other side, it is significantly harder. See, you can see that I am by no means the best sniper in the world, but this is just an absolutely excellent area to get so much coverage of. Even this is a good counter spot to Stadium, as I said, but but you can also get excellent coverage of all sorts of. So the biggest downside of sniping at Stadium is the fact that it's pretty easy to get killed because there is this one way up here.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Basically have to guarantee that someone's going to be watching that way at all points in time. Alright everyone, so the third location that is excellent for sniping on Warzone is here, the top portion of the prison. Now, there are a lot of smaller turrets down around the sides, such as these. These are not bad places to snipe. However, due to this being the area that is tallest, those areas are quite exposed to this taller tower. For that reason, it is these taller towers right here up at the front of Stadium that is such a good spot to snipe. So first of all, you have an incredible range of the entire map. Once again, you can see for, basically, look, that's the Ferris wheel way over there that is still rendered in even. So you can see an amazing, incredible amount of the map and take snipes at all of them. On top of that, you have good cover to get down behind, such as here, as well as cover down here. You can get behind these things right here, and you can also hop back to these back here if people are actually in prison and you want to take snipes at them. Now, there are two kind of downsides to this area of prison. The first one is that oftentimes the circle does not end here. However, in the case that it does, this is 100% the location you want to be, because people will have to be funneling in from all of this area, and if they want to get in prison, they really only have two options: this bridge right here, which they are in the wide open for you to take snipes at, or down on this side over here, there is the little sewer gate to get into. But again, I would not worry about those people until actually they get in the prison, and then I would just simply hop on over to this one, as I failed epically right there. Hop on over to this one, and you can get good views of all of them inside of prison with plenty of cover. The second big downside to landing here at prison is if someone were to call a cluster strike, a precision airstrike, shoot a javelin up here, your only real area to avoid those is to fall down here. Now, this will protect you, absolutely. However, this is not all that safe of a drop down unless you have someone kind of sitting down here guarding it, because it's very easy, lots of doorways and hallways and things for people to hide behind and shoot you when you drop down. So that is just something to pay attention to. It would almost be better just to run off the side and jump. However, that is also, this little ladder here is another reason why this is actually a good area. That is the only way up to this platform right here, which these 4 ladders are the only ways up to these little turrets here. So if you have someone sit right here and guard this ladder, you'll be able to get nice shots on them before they're ever up and pretty much kill them. Could even come here, and they can't really shoot you. And there's really no other way up here, as I said, except for helicopter. So that is basically the perfect area to, it could be a good camping spot, but it is also an excellent spot to snipe, especially if you have like duos, trios, or quads, where you could leave one person watching that ladder and the rest of everyone else takes snipes and attempts to go ahead and win the game with some awesome snipes. Alright everyone, so the next location that is so good for sniping on the Warzone map is here, the top of the roof on Airport. Now, this one is such a good sniping spot for a lot of the same reasons that the other ones are. And that is that it is an extremely high area with decent cover and very few to no ways up there other than helicopter or skydiving in. In the case of Airport, there is no way up to this roof except skydiving or a helicopter. The only area of the map that is really relatively close to higher than the airport roof is the ATC Control Tower, which you'll see in a second is actually our next location that is good for sniping. But This is such a good area. It normally has loot, it has plenty of cover to take cover from the ATC Tower if necessary. This is also a very popular area of the map, and as you can see, there are a decent number of gunfights. It looks like the RYTEC has not been buffed yet, but that is okay. This area is still excellent. There's not a whole lot of areas that people can hide from you. I mean, there are, but there's still a lot of open field. And this area of the map is a very popular area of the map. You oftentimes get streamers landing here, very good players, and this is an area that you can take them out from. You can also drop down to areas such as this roof. The only real way up there is from up here. You can get there, and yeah, this area of the map is extremely popular, and you oftentimes have a buy station there, and just in general all around this area there's normally one around this green tent on the size of these buses over here. So there are plenty of areas for you to snipe at, lots of roofs for other snipers to snipe at. You can get some really cool sniping battles. You even get a lot of coverage of the Superstore area, which is one of the hottest drops in the game. Storage Town is also not an unpopular area for drops. There's also oftentimes a buy station right here, so if need be, you can drop down to buy stuff at it, or you can make sure that nobody is buying teammates back in and take a snipe at them. So again, this is an excellent sniping spot. It provides you a ton of cover to take cover, but it also provides you a ton of areas to look at and take snipes at. It is absolutely one of my favorites. And again, there's no way up here other than skydiving in or taking a helicopter in. Alright everyone, so the next really good sniping spot is right here, and it is on top of the ATC control tower. Now, this is an interesting area because you kind of have 3 different levels to this ATC control tower. Each level you go down, it gets kind of increasingly worse, but it is still not a terrible area. So the one kind of caveat with landing up at this point is the only way up here is by a helicopter. So if you land a helicopter up here, somebody could shoot or lock onto it or do anything like that, and if that helicopter explodes, it is such a small area up here, there's a good chance that you could potentially die or at least take a lot of damage from that. So that is really the only negative with doing it up here, but as you can see, you do get... Boy, I hit them for armor. But you do get an excellent view of that airport roof. So as I said, this ATC tower is an interesting spot because it's another counter position to one of the sniper positions we showed you earlier. So as you can even see people, as you just saw, from Storage Town all the way up here. So you can get just incredible lines of sight. So the only real location that can kind of hit you from here is the dam, but even then it is extremely difficult. They are a very far distance away. As you can see, I'm actually taking snipes likely from over there, which is just fine, but you do have a little bit of cover in this thing right here if they are sniping at you, and you can just kind of peek your head around. And yes, so this is not a bad position to be sniping from at all. Now there is a kind of smaller section right here, and you can kind of work your way around this. Now, this is interesting because it provides you very little cover as far as height against stuff like the airport roof, dam, and even the surrounding hills, but does provide you this nice little center thing if you can run fast enough to get around and completely block yourself off from one of those other directions. But you do have some nice lines of sight all around the map and can pretty much pick off anyone you want. Again, the only way up here is by parachute, like that guy was trying to do, or helicopter. Alright everyone, so the next good location to snipe is here on top of Trainstation. Now, Trainstation is interesting because it used to be a lot better. There used to be basically only one way up here. That is not the case anymore. However, I must say, this location right here I am at the very tippy top of Trainstation, It is actually quite decent still. This is more of a solos, maybe a duos location, but you can take a lot of cover here. I would recommend having Ghost because a C4 or something could get you. But really the only way up here again is by a helicopter or by skydiving. Now, the rest of the train station roof, that is not the case. There are ladders and doors and such that can get you up here. But right here, this is pretty much the only way up here. And yeah, it's good. You get a lot of lines of sight. Now, the rest of train station is a pretty good sniping spot as well. You just have to be a lot more careful with how you go about it. For example, this side over here is pretty solid. You just have to know and pay attention to the fact that people can come from the other side of the train station and make it very difficult for you sometimes to snipe. However, that being said, there is decent cover, and if anyone comes from over there, you can always sit on these and mount and head glitch. It's not bad. It's by no means the best sniping spot. I prefer some of the other areas much more, but it does provide you a good area of promenade. It's really, of all the sniping locations we've covered, really the only one that covers promenade very well at all. So if you have a promenade ending, this is not a terrible location. There does tend to be a lot of action. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video on some of my favorite spots to snipe in Warzone, as well as what I think are not only some of my favorites, but some of the best spots in Warzone. Quick little kind of note on how I decided this. These are the areas that are very difficult to get to for people to kind of climb up there and kill you while you're sniping. These are areas that have great views of the map and you can snipe at a lot of different directions. These are areas that are high up and are difficult for other places to snipe you from above, because that is when it's most hard to fight back, is when they're sniping from above you. And then finally, they had to be in an area that was going to get you some action sniping. I didn't want any sort of sniping areas that you would just sit up there and never get any sort of kills. These are areas where, especially in Warzone, where when the circle pulls to an area, you should be able to get a lot of kills in these areas. So I hope you found this video useful. If you do, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'm going to be doing a lot more tips and tricks videos just like this one. So if you want to watch those, please subscribe so you never have to miss one of those uploads. As well as if you have any other kinds of questions and really just want to ask me, you can head on over to my Twitch. The link will be down in the description. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But you can also normally catch me on those other days as well, especially during this quarantine and lockdown. It's tough, not a whole lot to do, so streaming is something I'm doing a lot of. So that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one, everyone. Have a great day.